Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Majin Buu AGL, Majin Buu good, and just how good he can be at 55% in the hidden potential system. So this Majin Buu is one of the 40th anniversary characters, Unfathomable entity. And he looks pretty solid. A little bit different to some of the others. I think he's less clear on how to use him. Could be a first slot tank, could not be. Could be a floating kind of just unit for random damage. Just is a good unit for his teams. Not specifically tied to any position. Although I think probably I would say being a tank is his best point of call. So Majin Buu, all allies key +2, HP 150%, attack 100% when team includes super or extreme class, additional key +1, HP attack and defense at 70% when team includes all 5 types, which is pretty good. It raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to all enemies with a high chance of stunning them, which is great in terms of AoE of course, always helpful for things like ESBR, certain challenges, certain game modes. You know, there's always going to be fights where you have to take out multiple enemies, whether that's nuking events, scoring events, clearing events, ESBR. So in those situations, being able to have a character that is able to hit all of them at once is always something that is really super duper helpful. Then we have his passive, activates the entrance animation when there's an Android Cell Saga or Majin Buu Saga category enemy, or an Android Cell Saga or Majin Buu Saga category ally on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn. Attacking defense 150%, launches an additional super attack on all allies, attacking defense of 40%, up for 40 turns. Basic effects, key +2, attacking defense at 200%, high chance of evading enemies attack, recovers HP with sweet treats, which is neither here nor there. Certain stages make sweet, certain stages don't. When there's an enemy or an ally whose name includes Goku on the team, high chance of performing a critical hit, and damage reduction up of a further, of 40%. When attacking with 12 or more key, attacking defense of 100%, great chance of attack 150%, high chance of attack 150%, and for every attack received or evaded, defense of 39%. So he's not anything too wild. 40% support for 40 turns is pretty good for a lot of events, of course. He's probably, I would say, the one that's best suited towards short form content. You have that 40% damage reduction rate, you have that high chance of evasion, you have that build up of defense 39% for every attack received or evaded, which is good, by the way. So I think overall for me, he's definitely probably, at least I would say, quite solid, quite good. I think he's a very solid unit. I think he eventually, basically boils down to being, honestly, just a very good, very impressive unit that has solid foundations. When you look at the units and everything, I think it's important that when you're looking at, units like Buu, I think it's always great to kind of get a good feel for how they fit on their teams, and Buu could be a potential first slot tank for his team. The biggest issue is obviously the Goku condition. I think hits some of the extreme characters a bit more than some of the others. Like for Piccolo Jr., for Buu, it's a little bit more difficult to incorporate them fully on teams that have a Goku, although Majin Buu Saga obviously has a fair chunk. Compared to something like Vegeta, who you could just throw onto a Pure Saiyans team, or Gohan onto a Goku's family. Even characters like Frieza, they're not necessarily benefiting the full way all the time, because there's certain parts of their conditions that are locked behind having certain units. So like Goku, it's not always huge, but it is something. And in Buu's case, it's not massive, I would say, because he is more of an evasion tank, but I would definitely say that the crit chance is the biggest loss here, because it would dramatically affect your build. And the damage reduction is good, but it's not like it's insane, but it is still good. So I do think you do probably run him more on Majin Buu Saga than you're running him on just a pure Buu power. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Overall, I think he's pretty good. I think his links are a little bit limited. Innocence, Revival, Master Magic, Majin, Infinite Regen, they're good. They're good on a Buu power team. But when you run them with Majin Buu Saga, then obviously you're limited to running him with fewer characters if you're trying to incorporate on that team, but still pretty good. And he's on a fair chunk of categories, so as long as you can hit his requirements, I think this guy will be a good, solid first start tank that shouldn't let you down and should be able to do a really good job for you, helping you to carry your load, and should perform really well in some events. I think he'll be a nice pickup choice, especially for ESBR and things like that. In future, you'll see this guy there.